Hello there, right here. We just got announcements of everything that's coming with the 1.20 Minecraft update. This is all announced in the Minecraft Live 2022. They started the live event, which we used to know as Minecon. Now it's called Minecraft Live, and they always start the first 30 minutes by showing other people's builds throughout the community. They then started the actual event where they reminded people to vote for whichever of the 3 mobs that they want to make it to the Minecraft game. They went on to show us some gameplay for the new upcoming Minecraft Legends game, including gameplay of them actually playing it during the stream. Then they finally announced that it will be coming in the spring of 2023. They also explained how players can use the block bench to actually create their own mobs inside of the game. And this is done in the Bedrock edition. Unlike previous years where we would slowly vote for whichever mob we wanted and kicking one mob off at a time, this year they went ahead and had us all vote prior to the whole entire event, and then they went out and announced which mob did not make it into the final 2. So in the first segment, they announced that the Tough Golem got removed, which means we then would know that either the Snip or the Rascal would have won. They then talked about the other Minecraft game, which is Minecraft Dungeons, and new things that they're adding to it, including an October update, which is coming out a little bit later on. They also had a segment where they were trying to encourage their vast Minecraft audience to be conservative of the world's resources by kind of using their Minecraft platform to teach players about ecosystems and related things. Now for what you guys were really looking forward to, and that is new features coming to the actual Minecraft game. They had this little cinematic trailer that announced that they're coming out with brand new skins as default skins. Before we just had the Steve, and then later on they brought the Alex, but they're adding 7 new ones on top of those, so a total of 9. So these are all the different skins that are coming. They're coming out very soon, they said. You can see the 2 ones that we recognized, but we also got some different variety as well. They said they did this to try to make everybody feel like they're welcome when they join the Minecraft game. So they showcase people with different types of culture clothes to represent people all throughout the world, as Minecraft is the #1 most sold game and is played throughout the entire world. And it even appears like this character over here might be an amputee, or he might be missing part of his left arm. We then got the very first new item for 1.20, and that is hanging signs. These signs are made with chains as well as wood, and there's a variation for every type of wood. You can see how it looks when it's placed underneath a block with 2 chains hanging off of the block above, and a nice clean palette for you to put your words. Here's an example of it actually being in use, where it's hanging off to the side, and the texture on top is similar to the texture being used for the sign. In this case, it looks like it's birch. And the chain is hanging over top of it and kind of connects up to the block to the side, kind of like we would see in like a bell. They then showed an example of it with some other setups, like here in front of this armor shop, where the nice clean texture of the sign really shows through, and the added glow ink to give that extra effect. But not only that, when you place these hanging signs underneath of something small like this fence here, you can see the chain actually changes shape. Now we have both chains coming to the center, connecting to the underside of this. So for those of you guys that are into building, not only will this be used as a way to like illustrate text in the game of Minecraft, but you can also use this in your actual builds. Like in this example here, where they got a whole bunch of different types of hanging signs. The ones that we've seen connected to the side, they got them all connected right beside each other with multiple colors. They also have them at different angles. So this kind of looks like a clothesline with clothes hanging off of it, which gives a really cool effect. I know the builders are just going to have an amazing time playing around with this with so much variation and colors that can be added to all sorts of builds. Now before we could always have signs stacked like sideways, and we could also stack signs upwards, but now we can actually stack signs downwards. This is completely new. It could actually be helpful in some redstone contraptions where you don't have areas to actually place in a sign because you have nothing to connect it up with. Oftentimes we use like fence gates in these areas, but now we have alternative options. What other uses could we use these hanging signs for? Speaking of giving wood more purpose, they then came out with the announcement of bamboo being able to be used just like you would use wood. In this picture here, you can see it's been used like as blocks, stairs, slabs, fences, doors, trapdoors, anything you can think you could do with wood, you could also do with bamboo, and it gives us such an amazing look, similar to like I would think of like a hay bale, and people always wanted this particular look, maybe like straw. Now you can actually get that. I particularly like how they did the trapdoors and the doors, as they kind of gave them that look where like they don't have actual glass in them, and it's just like the mesh look. Now they said they wanted to do this whole bamboo theme for many different block types, because throughout the world, some people don't build their houses like out of wood, and instead they build them out like bamboo. So to include more people in feeling welcome into Minecraft, this was an easy thing for them to add into the game, and it fits in really well. What ideas do you guys have for the new bamboo uses? They also add in a special type of bamboo look that we don't have with the wood, and that is this mosaic look. This is where the kind of the different tiles all fit different directions, and it looks crazy. I can see people definitely using this in all sorts of builds to try to give that extra kind of variety of look. And it does seem that it comes in quite a few different variations. Slabs, stairs is also the block types. It's unfortunate we can't get the same mosaic look for like wood or even stone. But with more block types, it is also making it ever apparent that we are having problems with inventory management, because I'm sure the builders would love to have all sorts of blocks in inventory and easily be able to place them down. Here you can see how they use the mosaic in with the normal bamboo, as well as some other blocks to make this kind of Asian looking house that's on stilts. But that's not the only use for bamboo. That's right, guys. We can now make bamboo rafts with these bamboo. So a lot of more uses for your bamboo. That means a bamboo farm is going to be really popular. If you haven't already seen mine, I'll have it linked below. But we were going to need a lot of it in order to build all these amazing things. And it looks like you can actually put chests onto your boats that are bamboo. So kind of like all the other boats, but just made out of bamboo, I guess. So far we didn't get anything redstone related, but until now we actually get this really cool bookshelf that you can actually use not only for normal books, but you can place enchanted books into, as well as written books inside of them. Before, bookshelves were always a thing that you would just place down for enchanting tables, but now they actually have a function. These special bookshelves are called chiseled bookshelves, so they are different than the normal ones. So they actually can bring function into your houses. Now it does appear that these special bookshelves can hold 6 books, 3 on the top shelf, 3 on the bottom shelf, and as you actually remove them, they visually get removed from the actual bookshelf, which is really cool. But it does seem like you can't really tell what type of book is in there. As he clicks here, he gets a written book, then he clicks again and gets an enchanted one, and then when he clicks again, he gets a normal book. But I did say there's redstone function, and you notice that this door actually opened up. That's because you can put a comparator in the back of this and actually read what is the last book that was placed into it or taken out of it. So most likely it can detect the difference between like a normal book, enchanted one, or a written one. And maybe with some other functionalities, it can also tell how many books are actually in the shelf. In this example here, they use it to open up this secret door, which opens up all sorts of type of possibilities, such as like having a secret base or a puzzle room. I'm glad they're at least adding some redstone function to something which could be kind of boring. Hopefully we can use this to like automatically put books into it with like hoppers, and even have like a hopper pull the items out, or use like a dispenser to put them in it. And maybe even be able to sort out the individual types of enchanted books, because currently we can already sort out these 3 types of books with the lays, but we can't determine what type of enchantments are on the actual enchanted ones to separate them from other ones. Now I did design some automated farms to help with this, but they still take some player input. What functionalities would you like to see the bookshelf have, and what other uses do you think it could offer? For those of you that enjoy building, the bookshelf not only offers a cool look, but the textures on the different sides look different. Notice down in the floor we got this kind of checker pattern, and also on the sides over here. So you could use them in like the floors, the walls, or the ceilings to get that unique look for your builds. Most likely, because it holds different books, it is going to be a tile entity, meaning that we can't move it with pistons in Java. And having too many tile entities in an area isn't good for the game, as it can add up to creating lag and even corrupting chunks, similar to having like a whole bunch of furnaces. Now, in the short video that I put out just before the Minecraft live event kicked off, I shared a leaked information about what's actually going to be added into the game, and that was a picture of a camel. This update was actually already leaked a whole month ago by someone anonymously saying that there was going to be new wood types for bamboo, including bamboo rafts, and also hanging signs and camels. So that is right, guys. They went ahead and added camels into the game of Minecraft. Look at this thing. It has a crazy animation. It looks epic. It sits down and stands up. And you guys guessed it. Players can actually ride it. 2 players, that is. So look at that. 2 players are riding throughout it. Of course, they put a saddle on it. And it has a special ability called Dash, which allows it to sprint really fast and allows you to hop over things like rivers or caves, or even just go really fast in flat areas. The camel itself has different characteristics than a llama, where it's going to be really good at walking fast, like in the straightaways, but it's going to have a bit slower time trying to climb up stuff or like turning side to side. That way, horses still have a functionality, as well as camels will also have them. So the dash ability that the camel has will probably be very similar to like the horse's jump, where you can't like spam it. So you have to let the bar recharge before doing it again. Now where the camel mob really differs from horses is in this scenario here, where one player can control the camel kind of like a boat, and then the second player can actually do something like combat, shooting arrows or hitting mobs. Notice that the mobs cannot actually reach the player because they are so high up on top of the camel, which is great for staying safe, and you don't have to worry about all those pesky things, and you can walk right on through in the middle of the night. Now the camo of course is competing against like the horse and also the elytra, so it still will probably be like a mid-game item. It's definitely something to have fun with your friends, where like elytra you're kind of like two solo players even if you're flying together. Being able to ride such a large mob in the game is also useful on the technical side, as you can actually do something similar to like when I use llamas inside of different tree farms to reach really high and be able to plant saplings while still having the movement of the player being placed lower down so don't affect the farm. Also, just the camo's large hitbox might be useful in areas where you're trying to push stuff out, where in the past I would use like a ghast or even a horse. Now, actually, when I was growing up, we had neighbors that had camels, and they had like 20 of them. So it's like a whole herd of them. It almost just looks like giraffes. They are so tall. Every time we would see them, we think they're like a camel caravan trekking across the land. Camels are also kind of scary because they do kind of like spit, and the males can actually be quite aggressive. So of course, camels can also be bred and can produce babies. The item you use to actually breed them is the cactus, because camels in real life can actually eat this stuff. And they said they want to bring function to like older blocks in the game so that Minecraft itself can last for at least 50 years. So they're definitely looking out for the future of the game. So if you want to breed a lot of camels, go ahead and use my cactus farm, which I showcase here. You can make tons of camel babies, which are very cute. The whole animation of these things when they stand up and sit down is awesome, although we know that when it comes to mobs, their actual hitbox doesn't change. So if they're really big, even when they sit down, they're going to be quite big. They did announce that all these cool things that we got to see are actually coming to Snapshot and betas very soon, where we the players can already start playing around with them and giving feedback on it. This is part of their new change where they're trying to only show things that they're actually going to bring out to the game and letting the players actually give plenty of feedback before the actual update comes out. So probably in a week or so, we'll already get some snapshots. So look forward to those on my YouTube channel. Don't forget, I do open a server up where all you guys are able to join and play with the new features as soon as they come out, as well as I live stream that. Overall, the Minecraft live event was a little bit shorter just because, like I said, they're only going to show you stuff that they can make it into the final game. But they said they are going to add in many more things before the actual update is finished. You might be wondering, what is the actual update called? Well, they're actually not giving it any name other than the 1.20 update, and they said they're going to kind of develop a name as the snapshots progress. To me, it seems like there's a pretty clear theme here, and that is kind of like inclusiveness, where they're trying to bring in bamboo, which is something people build their houses out of in some parts of the world. Also camels, which is some things that people ride and are more familiarized with riding than like horses. We also got the cool signs, which are aimed more for like the builders, and the bookshelves, which have some redstone function where they're always trying to add in a little bit of redstone with each update. But they did say this update is coming in 2023. So don't think it's coming out like this year, where they would typically do an update just before Christmas. And of course, the winner of the mob vote for 2022 was the Sniffer, which will bring us, of course, the new mob, the new egg. We're looking for new seeds, new plants, probably some new stuff that we can farm with redstone and automation. For me, it seemed like all three mobs were somewhat useless and useful at the same time. So I really didn't care which one won. What is your guys' thoughts on the Sniffer winning? What do you think of the 1.20 name will be? And overall, what do you guys think of all these changes? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments. And while you're down there, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe, as I will be doing update videos on every single new change that we see coming to the game. Thank you everyone who made it to my live stream event about this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.